Pilates is not going to build you the body that you think it will, but lifting alone won't either. If you want to see the most drastic change in your body, the key is, hi, my name is Sarah. I'm a certified Pilates instructor and I'm a certified gym goer for the last 5 or 6 years. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. In the last year or so, I'd say there's this big hype going around the Pilates princess. I'm sure we've all seen it. The Pilates princess is seen as this super skinny, tall, slim waist, pink, and people are trying to achieve this Pilates aesthetic. The misconception here is that whether you do Pilates twice a week or 6 times a week, Pilates alone isn't going to give you that look that you think it will. On the contrast, there's also this trend of weightlifting and how you can sculpt your body through weightlifting. It's true that weightlifting will sculpt you the body that you want, but there's a little bit more than that. If you want to see the most drastic change in your body, the key is you need both. You cannot just do Pilates and you cannot just weightlift. You need to combine the two together week after week, month after month to see the change that you want. Let's first talk about Pilates. Now, Pilates is a system. I know a lot of times we hear reformer Pilates, mat Pilates. They all mean the same thing. It's just what apparatus are you doing it on? Pilates' main focus is about strengthening your core, while simultaneously working on the mobility of your spine and your entire body as a whole. There's this idea that Pilates will give you that six-pack that you want, but Pilates is not just about building your abs. Pilates will build your core. But what is the core? You can think of your core as a sort of 360-degree cylinder that kind of wraps around your entire trunk. So if we think about the core, I want you to think about your spine. Around your spine, you have your transverse abdominis, you have your obliques, your erector spinae, and your spinal stabilizers. At the base of your core, you have your pelvic floor. And finally, you have your diaphragm. The diaphragm is how you're able to breathe from within your core. The base of any movement throughout your whole life comes from your core. A strong core is necessary for function throughout your life. Strong abs are more just about the aesthetic and about the look. Now, when I talk about Pilates, I'm talking about classical Pilates from Joseph Pilates himself. I'm not talking about the stuff you see on Instagram or on TikTok. I'm talking about the true classical Pilates method that Joseph Pilates created. This type of Pilates will build that core strength that you're looking for. It'll build your abdominals, your obliques, your spine, your stabilizers, your erector spinae, your pelvic floor. They all work together for you to move throughout your life. Now, if we go ahead, flip the page, and look at weightlifting instead, weightlifting is how much weight your body or your muscle can move. Weightlifting is great for building muscle mass, for avoiding things like osteoporosis in the future, strengthening the muscles. So what's the difference between Pilates and weightlifting? Pilates, whether you do it on the reformer, the chair, the mat, no matter the apparatus you use, is all about building your core and your pelvic floor. Strength training, on the other hand, is all about building your muscles and increasing your power from within your body. You cannot have one without the other because they both intertwine. If you want to live a long life where you can move your body at 80 the same way you moved it at 20, you need to incorporate both Pilates and weightlifting. Life is not about how you look, but how your body looks from within. You want strong bones, you want a strong heart, you want a spine that's mobile, that doesn't get stiff by the time you're 60 or 70. You need to incorporate both. How does Pilates complement weightlifting, and how does weightlifting complement Pilates? In order to lift heavy weights, you have to have a strong core. Let's take the example of doing a squat. Yes, a squat is mainly focused on your quads, glutes, and a little bit of hamstrings, but it's also a lot on the core. If you don't have strength from within your core, your body will never be able to get that weight up, even if your quads are strong. This is why in weightlifting, we often tell you to brace your core before doing a heavy lift. If your core doesn't have the strength it needs, you won't be able to get that weight back up. This is why we see a lot of people at the gym wearing weightlifting belts, those heavy, big things around the waist that support them in their lifts. Their core just simply isn't strong enough to lift that weight back up. In order to get that strong core, you need to be doing Pilates. Find a type of Pilates that you like, whether it be on the mat, whether it be on the reformer or the chair. They all give you the same benefits. You'll be building that deep core strength that'll help to support you when you're at the gym. Now, how does the gym support Pilates? When training at the gym, you're working those really big muscles. Your quads, glutes, hamstrings, your biceps, triceps, your upper back, or your lats. When you're at Pilates, you're working those tiny muscles, those tiny fibers from within. What's great about the gym is that it builds you that strength from within your body that you need in order to be able to move precisely in Pilates. If you have weak glutes, you'll struggle with single leg exercises in Pilates. If you don't have shoulder strength and stability, you'll struggle with a lot of moves that require that upper body strength in Pilates. The reality isn't that you should only do Pilates or that you should only do weightlifting. You should be combining both together in order to get you those benefits throughout your life and maybe build the aesthetic body that you want. The truth is that you need both in order to live a life of mobility. And at the same time, they can help to develop the body that you want. The difference is how you incorporate both into your week. The sweet spot for me is 3 gym days a week and 1 Pilates session a week. But this differs from person to person. Some people may prefer going to Pilates 3 times a week and only hitting the gym once a week where they hit a full body workout. Do what feels right for you, but don't neglect one for the other. Don't completely avoid Pilates just because you prefer to weightlifting. And don't completely avoid weightlifting because you think you're going to get bulky. People associate Pilates with that long, lean build, and people associate weightlifting with strong, bulky muscles. But neither of those are true. I've been weightlifting for 5 years. My biceps are still not that big. I've been doing Pilates for nearly 2 years now, and I still don't have a six-pack. But neither of these are my goal at the end of the day. You have to find a way to structure your week so your workout aligns with your goals. If you're someone who's looking to build a stronger lower body, you might need to be incorporating a little bit more leg day workouts at the gym where you're using weights versus at Pilates. If you're someone who's looking to strengthen your core, you might be needing a little bit more Pilates sessions than you do gym sessions. Strength training is about power, Pilates is about control. You cannot have power without control, and you can't have control without power. They come together, which is why you need Pilates and weightlifting together. Training both will build you a body that lasts and a body that looks good. Don't train for aesthetics only, train for longevity. If you have any questions, comments are always down below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!